just asking if I am right side up. Sometimes Periscope likes to play tricks on me, and even though I have my camera the same way all the time, sometimes they like to flip it on me, and then I look like I'm upside down instead. So, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so today we are going to be discussing a little bit about what your quote unquote lack of motivation is preventing you from doing. So, what is it keeping you from? So, for those of you who are following me on my personal Facebook page, y'all know what I'm doing today, right? So, is anybody following my personal page that happens to be on here? Tell everybody here what it is that I'm doing today. What am I doing? Is it crazy? I'm telling you, y'all, this is going to take me forever. Forever. Yes, I am going through my closet for the first time in a long time, thoroughly. Okay. This is something that I have been putting off for a long time, but you know what? It's really funny when you kind of look at how this goes. Yes, it can be a very overwhelming job. What I have done, and girl, okay, so you see how long this has been taking me, and we literally have only gotten through dresses. That's it. I have tried on now. I think I've posted one shirt and pants, which is what I'm wearing now. Okay. And that is all I've gotten through so far was dresses and one shirt and pants. Okay. So it's going to take me a long time, but here's what I did. Okay. I just finally got tired of, and y'all tell me, typically I have found anyway. And you tell me if, kind of, hey there, Mr. Relentless. Kind of, yes, somewhat, but not necessarily a capsule per se. Okay. But when I was doing this, it just kind of made me think about, even in terms of our businesses, okay, or in terms of anything that we need to be getting done. This is something that I've needed to do for a really long time. And yes, that's just it. I kept going, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, you know what else I don't have time for? I also don't have time to have to try on 3 or 4 different outfits before I finally go, okay, this one I can live with. I might not be over the moon excited about it, but I can live with it. I can get through the day. And that's after trying 3 or 4 different things on. And I'm going, how much time am I wasting every day or every week? Okay. Yeah, I know all about those time capsule things, but I don't know that I'm necessarily going there just yet. Trust me, there's going to be a lot of purging out of that closet, but I don't know that I'm there just yet. Okay. But here's the thing. We so often keep going, well, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Okay, we need to stop claiming that we don't have time, because every time that we claim we do not have time, we have not stated a fact. We have simply stated a priority. Okay, so on other days, my priority was elsewhere. It was not on getting my closet straightened out. It was not on keeping clothes that I just absolutely love, because here's the thing. If I put them on and I'm not sold on them in a heartbeat, I don't know that I'm going to keep them. Like, I do have a few that I'm kind of like undecided, because they might look all right, but it could be a comfort issue, whatever. Yes. Okay. So we often try to claim this whole lack of motivation. Well, I just don't have the motivation to get it done. That's not true either. Okay. Again, you have not stated a fact. You've stated a priority. Juliana, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yay. That means I'll get a chance to meet you. Yay. So here's the thing. Again, when we're claiming that we have a lack of motivation is nothing more than an excuse for laziness. So whether that's getting your closet straight, whether that is, getting on the phone, whether it be texting, whether it be emailing, whether it be calling, whatever form it is that you use because of what your customers prefer, whatever that is. Okay. You, again, it's not a matter of finding motivation to get things done. It's a matter of making a decision to get things done. Period. That's it. That's all it boils down to. So this morning, when I woke up, because my hubby and my kids had taken me out yesterday to my two favorite stores, Cato's and Kohl's. So we had a little bit of a shopping spree for Mother's Day. They had some really awesome deals. We got like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know how much I got in terms of worth, retail value worth of clothes. I would easily say, because I think just at Kohl's alone was probably $700 to $800 retail of clothes. Yeah. That's not what I paid for it. That's not anywhere near what I paid for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got it. Okay. But just at Kohl's was probably $700 to $800 worth of clothes. And then we got another, I'm going to say maybe another $250 worth of clothes at Cato's. So, needless to say, when you're talking about a retail total of almost $1,000 worth of clothes, okay, again, not anywhere near what I paid for it because I'm a bargain shopper. So, yeah, not anywhere close. But needless to say, I now have all these clothes I got to try to fit in my closet. So it finally came down to where, for one, I had to. Okay, I had to. I finally got to where I had to do something because otherwise it wasn't going to function at all. Okay, don't wait for your business to get to that point. Don't wait for things to happen in your business that get you to a point where you finally go, well, now I have to do it because if I don't, my business can't function. Don't wait that long. Don't wait that long. Do yourself a favor. Do it early. Do it ahead of time. Do it in small little baby steps, whatever it is that you need to do. But don't wait until it is to the point where you absolutely have to. Okay? Because then, now, for some people, that's what it requires in order for them to be disciplined enough to do it. Don't be that kind of person, because then you will always be living in that kind of procrastinating scheme of things, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Okay? The other reason was because, again, I was tired of putting up with the other junk. You've got 3 hostesses. You've tried to text and call and get no response. What then? Okay, so for one, continue to try and reach out to them, not in like a stalkerish way, but tell me, as an example, when are those 3 hostesses scheduled for? Are they like close, or are these ones that are out a little bit? I'm just gonna wait a second. I always feel like we should have some music while we're waiting for those questions to come back through, or answers to my questions to come back through. 2 are closed. The 3rd is late in June. Okay, so the 2 that are close, try to reach out to them probably, I would say, at least maybe twice a week. Okay, and when you reach out to them, you can even, whether you're texting or calling, just leave them a message that, hey, I was trying to reach you in regards to your upcoming show scheduled for da 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 da. Please touch base with me as soon as possible so we can go over some details. If they don't get back to you, then here's what I do. 24 hours to 48 hours before the show, I contact them again and I leave them a message that says, hey girl, I'm so excited to see you on Saturday. Since your show starts at 4, I'm going to be there about 3:15 so I can begin setting up. I'm so looking forward to seeing you. I'm going to be bringing about 10 folders with me. If you need more than that, please make sure that you let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you Saturday at 3:15. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Okay, you can leave your message or leave your number, whatever, if she doesn't already have it. Okay, so, but here's the thing. That tells her that no matter what, you're going to be there. Okay, if she's not holding that show, she will contact you because she does not want you showing up on her doorstep if she is trying to avoid you because she's not planning on doing the show. Either way, you have let her know that that appointment is important to you, that you are looking forward to it, and that you will be there unless she contacts you and tells you to stay home. Okay, so again, in terms of our motivation, that's wonderful, Tessa. That's great. Honey, I'm going to be praying for you. I'm going to be praying. Praying. How many, what do you have to go? Is it shows or is it people's? Is it show or people? No, my neck is like creaky. Yes. Yes. Listen. Wonderful. Wonderful. I will be praying, girl. I will be praying. Are you going to rally? Will you be at rally? Wonderful. Great. Okay. All right. That's perfect. That's awesome. So I'm going to be saying some prayers that you reach that well in time for being able to, good, well before the time needed to be able to qualify in time for a rally so you can be recognized there. I look forward to that. Yes. I hope to see you there. That would be awesome. I'm trying to figure out, I'm thinking possibly, and I'm not quite sure kind of what the schedule looks like for sure, but I'm thinking that Friday, during the lunch hour, I would love to be able to catch up with people who are at rally. So that's kind of what my hope is that perhaps we can catch up, even if we can't sit and eat lunch together, to at least be able to like go eat lunch and then meet like maybe at like the water gardens or something right there, something, because I would love to get a chance to at least very quickly, if nothing else, to be able to very quickly say hi, give hugs, get some pictures and all that kind of good stuff. So probably we're going to be shooting for Friday during the day, over the lunch hour, that basically as soon as everyone wraps up with eating lunch, then to kind of meet up out at the water garden. So I will make sure somehow, I'll make sure that somehow I can get y'all my cell phone number, and then that way you can text me when you're finished eating lunch and I'll know if I need to scooch out there right away or if I'm going to be the only one out there. So we will play that by ear. But yes. So, but anyway, so I there again, I also got to the point where I was tired of the inconveniences that I was being put in by me not having gone through that closet sooner, meaning having to try on 3 or 4 different outfits and putting the stuff on and being like, I used to like the way this looked and now I'm not so sure and whatever, or going to put things on and realizing they don't quite fit the way they used to, or whatever, okay? And realizing like, why am I hanging on to these things? Or that I would go to put a shirt on and I put it on and go, oh, that's right, this has a little teeny hole there that I still haven't taken care of. Guess what, y'all? Those little teeny tiny holes, chances are I'm never going to take care of them. I'm just not. Because I have more than enough clothes in my closet that I would just bypass that and just go get something else instead. So what I'm thinking is I kind of had to look at things and go, okay, I need to go through this stuff. And if it doesn't fit, get rid of it. Okay. Same goes for your business. If what you're doing in your business doesn't fit, get rid of it. Okay. If you're doing things that are not productive in your business, get rid of it. If you're playing, as an example, y'all, I used to do an icebreaker game. And then I realized there's no purpose in me having an icebreaker game if I am doing things to be able to get the guest interactive right off the bat I don't need an icebreaker game. I don't need to loosen them up in any way, shape, or form because they are being interacted right from the beginning. So that was time that didn't need to be spent during my presentation. I was able to get rid of it. Okay. So this is where you say, okay, I need to look at what fits in my business and what doesn't. And if it doesn't, get rid of it. If it works well, if it flows well, if your system works well, keep it. But if it doesn't, get rid of it. Okay. I also needed to look at what was worn. Okay. What was not really looking the greatest anymore. Okay. Even in our business, we all, for the most part, have some kind of samples. For those of you who aren't in Premiere, perhaps you have displays and things like that of your product that maybe are used. Okay. So as an example, I know there are some makeup companies out there, etc., that they have kind of samples of different products. If it does not still look good, get it off your table. I cannot say that enough. If it does not still look good, if it is not still in customer condition, if it is not still beautiful, get it off your table. And that goes for makeup samples that might be on your display. That goes for jewelry samples that might be on your display. That goes for clothing samples that might be on whatever you display, whatever your products are. If it is not still in good condition, get it off your display table. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Okay. And you also need to make sure that even in terms of, yes, over time it ages and it doesn't look very good. Okay. If it doesn't look good, get it off of there. Get it off the table. Get it off of there. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're doing the same thing for your clothes. Okay. So again, I'm challenging each and every one of you to go through your clothes. If you want to be viewed as a professional, go through your clothes, and if it does not look professional, if it has holes, if it has stains, if it doesn't fit you well, and this is the reason why some of my clothes are going, if I look like a busted can of biscuits when I'm wearing those clothing, I'm getting rid of them. I'm getting rid of them. I'm not going to hang on to them. I am not going to be that attached to a number inside my clothes to determine whether or not I'm going to wear them or not going to wear them. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to cram myself into a certain, outfit because of the number on the inside of the tag that nobody can see anyway. What's the point? What's the point? So I'm going to wear what fits my body, and that's what I'm going to wear. Period. So there again, if your clothing do not look good on you, all right, if they are out of date, if they are showing wear and tear, whatever, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Okay. The other thing with my clothes, and actually, we just kind of touched on this a little bit. If things are out of date, okay, just out of date, you just kind of look at them and it's like, not really on trend anymore. It's kind of out of style, that sort of thing. You want to do the same thing with your business. If you're giving away gift giveaways, as an example, and there are things that just really are not that on trend anymore, I'm having trouble kind of thinking of a specific item. Oh, well, okay, I take that back. All right, so as an example, how many of you, especially in Premiere, have those little, the small square scarves that were more like handkerchiefs? Okay, and everybody would do the rose technique with it and show how cute the rose was and everything else with these small little square handkerchief style scarves. Is there anybody here who ever used those as a gift giveaway? Put a 1 in the box. If you know what I'm talking about and you ever gave them away, put a 1 in the box. I'm just curious. You remember those? Okay. Anybody else? Did you guys ever give those away as gifts? This was something that I'm going to say, at least when I first came in, these were gifts that were like everywhere I looked, people were giving these scarves away. Okay. And they would be out of stock on the incentive site because so many people were giving them away. All right. Now that was when I first came in though, about 9 years ago. That would be an item that to me is out of date. All right. And if you're trying to use that as an incentive for someone to book or for someone to play a game so that they can win it as a prize or things like that, you want to make sure that your prizes are current, that they are trendy, that they are something that people would want. Not that they would look at it and be like, oh, thanks. No, okay. So even in terms of what it is that you choose to give away for your, for your business, for booking incentives or for playing games or things like that, make sure they're things that people would actually want. Okay. So there again, if it's out of date, get rid of it and get on trend. Okay. Get with something that is more current. All right. There's also something that I am looking at in terms of my clothes. And for those of you who are kind of watching this whole thing unfold on Facebook, for one, thank you for not hiding me on your newsfeed at this point. But the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I want to be able to have right in front of me, I want to be able to have quick little images of everything that I have chosen to keep, because I want to be able to look at it and determine if there are any duplicates, if you will. Okay. So meaning I only need so many, I'll just say black tank tops. Okay. So I don't really need to keep 5 or 6 black tank tops if they all fairly, if they're all pretty similar and things like that. So there again, even in your business, what things are you doing perhaps in your presentation that might be kind of duplicating itself, that it's almost like you're covering the same things 2, 3, or 4 times. Now, I'm not referring to kind of the little seeds that we drop throughout the show about, in terms of jewelry shows or in terms of being able to share the business opportunity or that kind of thing. I'm not referring to the little seeds, but just meaning if you are over duplicating. So as an example, you can show more in terms of combinations if you are only showing one necklace, okay, one necklace that has double lobster claw closures. We'll say the willow necklace. All right. You could show several tricks with the willow necklace, but that doesn't mean that you have to then grab one of the strands from Belize and show all the exact same combinations, show all the exact same tricks. Like, they already saw that. Like, you could have shown them something else that they've never seen and blow them away, rather than showing them 3 or 4 of the exact same style necklace, showing the same tricks, and them going, yeah, I got that. I got that. Okay, it's a different necklace, but you did the same thing. All right. So think about those duplicating things as well. All right. And then finally, anything that I don't put on and just feel amazing in, I'm not going to keep it. I'm not going to keep it. And here's why that should be the same thing in your business. Okay. In your business, if you cannot do certain activities, actions, presentations, etc. And again, I'm not saying right off the bat, because y'all, you got to find your groove. Okay. And when you first try something, it might seem a little awkward. It might seem a little out of the box for you because it's outside of your comfort zone. That's not what I'm referring to, because anything that you ever try, you need to be willing to try it for at least 6 to 10 shows before you determine whether or not it works for you. Because what works well at one show might not have the same results at your next 3 shows. Does that make sense? Okay. So you want to be able to do it several different times before you make that decision. But Once you have found what works well for you, or once you have done 6 to 10 shows, again, if you do not feel amazing about your presentation, if you do not feel comfortable in your own skin in regards to your presentation, and you have done it 6 to 10 times and it just still is not feeling right, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Find something else to put in there, because if you can't be you in your presentation and you can't be genuine when you're dealing with your customers and with your hostesses, it's all for nothing. It's all for nothing, because if they feel like you're being fake, you're not going to be able to build a trusting relationship with them. So again, you want to make sure that what it is that you're doing is going to be done in such a way that you can feel absolutely amazing. Okay? Now, does anyone have any questions, anything else that they would like to add to this? Did y'all get something out of this? If you did, give me a little flow of hearts over there. This was just, again, as I was thinking about this morning, and thank you for that. And I was, starting to go through my clothes, and again, it was kind of that whole, I kept putting it off because, I mean, let's be honest. How many of us really want to have to go through and try on every piece of clothing that we have in our closets, in our dresser, etc.? Is there anybody that wants to do that? Or how many of you think that you would put it off or have been putting it off? Put a 1 in the box if you've been putting it off. Yeah, like it's, and there again, for those of us who aren't really feeling great about where we stand in our body right now, all right, then that's just like adding insult to injury. Just to be like, okay, let's see if I can get into this. It just, that's just how it is. And it does not feel good. It's not really something that we want to do. But again, I got tired of having all these clothes and nothing to do with them. Nothing. And, it's, yes, sometimes I can get away with certain things, and I do have, several pieces of my own current clothes. But you know what's so funny? I had so much in my closet, and this is going to touch a little too on our displays. Okay, I had so much in my closet that I could not focus on, and half the stuff in my closet I forgot that I even had. Like, I didn't even remember it was in there. And I'm going, well, this still fits. How come I never pull this out? Well, it's because it was hidden by a bunch of other stuff. Okay. So here's what I want you to think about, even in terms of your display. When people are looking at your display, are they looking at it going, I can't even tell where to focus. There is so much happening here. There is just so much clutter. I can't focus on any one thing. It looks like a junky garage sale. Okay. If that's how your display is looking, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Okay. You want people to be able to focus on things, to be able to come up to your display and immediately have their eye drawn to something, not where they're like all over just like scanning and they can't focus on anything. Okay. And that's what I was doing in my closet, because my closet was so stuffed that it was like I was just kind of scanning, like, I don't even know what's in here. And then I would just grab something that I thought might work and whatever. There again, you don't want that happening at your shows. You want people to be able to look right at it. Yes, yes. I went from, at one point, we were probably taking about 250, maybe 300 items to our shows. And now, of course, we only put out what would fit on the table in most situations. But that was always difficult for me, because I'm like, well, like, how do you decide what to put out, what not to put out? So needless to say, I had to get to where I just totally dropped it down. And it actually took me being at I'd done several shows, and there was a specific business coach who had been at several of these different jewelry shows. And, she finally asked me the one time, she's like, there was a piece that, she goes, is this new? And I said, oh no, I said, I've had that. And she says, but this is the first time that you brought it to a show. And I'm like, oh no. I said, it's been on my display for probably the last 10 to 12 shows I've done. And she goes, okay, I've never seen this before. And she says, but what that because it was like somebody else had picked it up and she saw them holding it, whatever. And she goes, so that tells me that there's just too much. There's too much. I couldn't even, I never saw this. And it was supposedly on the display before. And, so that is totally random, but tell him thank you. um, and it like for me, that was kind of very eye opening. And we started kind of discussing things. And so I had decided at that point that I needed to kind of cut it back. And I think I had cut it back to, I don't know, maybe 150 pieces at that point. And now I've even tried to get it down lower than that. Right now, if I'm remembering correctly, right now I think we have maybe about 70 pieces that are actually on the table. And then there's about 20 pieces that are shown during my fashion segments, but that is 4 different ensembles. Okay, so it's like the necklace, the earrings, the watch, the bracelets that would go with those pieces. So there's approximately 5 pieces per look that are shown for the 4 different looks that I have throughout the presentation. So there's about 20, maybe 22 that are done during the fashion segment, and then we have about 70 or so that are on the table. And it's made it so much easier, so much easier. Oh yeah. Well, and here's the thing, because the 4 different looks that I'm doing, so I do a silver look. So right now I'm showing the fast forward set, and so I'm showing the fast forward necklace and bracelet along with the inner strength bracelet, in the loop earrings, and the right on track watch. So I showed that whole thing together, show them the different tricks that the fast forward can do. But even with that, I don't really show a lot of tricks. What it is that I'm doing is I'm showing just the short one first. And I say, now this is just a quick throw on, easy, easy go out the door kind of thing, that if you just wanted to pair this with jeans and t-shirt, could. If you wanted to add a little bit more boldness, perhaps you would add the longer one. And then I also show the chain, the silver chain, to show that that can be used individually, use it with another pendant enhancer, whatever, how that enhancer comes off and can be used. Now, I don't actually put the enhancer on the other ones. I just say, I hold the enhancer up and I say, now she could use this enhancer on any of these 3 different ones, but we're just going to clip it right here on the chain. That gives her the Y shape as well. And I kind of go over things in that way. But I'm not showing a ton of different combinations with that. There are a ridiculous number of combinations that you could show just with the fast forward. I'm showing them more how each one of those strands can be used individually. Yes, how each one of those can be used individually, and how you can wear them all together to get a long layered look. I discuss, the bracelets, the fast forward bracelets, how it has the 2 stretch bracelets that are what I call my no man bracelets. I don't need no man to help me get dressed like, I can get dressed like a big girl because they're just stretchy and I can put them on. And I show the silver bracelet that comes with that and explain that that can be worn, as small or as large as you need it to be, because it has those double lobster claw closures. Can also be used as an anklet and can also be used as an extender for some of your other necklaces. So as I go through each of the different looks, I'm explaining different little key points about those things. When I show my mixed metals, I'm showing the Camille and the Willow. So I show how the Willow frames the Camille, but then how you can also use the Willow with those double lobster claw closures to do a faux double. Well, because they know that you can do that with the willow, they also then can figure out that the fast forward necklace, the long strand, has those double lobster claw closures just like the willow, so that one could be done as a faux double, but I don't have to show that. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So yes, it's about giving them the different information without feeling like you have to reduplicate everything. Yes. Okay, awesome. Alrighty. So here's my question to each one of you who happen to still be here. We don't have that many people in today. So here's my question to each one of you. What have you been putting off due to lack of motivation? And put that in the comment box. I want to see one thing that's personal and one thing that is business related. So we're actually looking for two things from you. One personal thing and one business thing that you have been putting off due to a lack of motivation. Okay, cleaning your house. Wonderful. That's your personal one. Tell me what your business one is. Making phone calls. Okay. Shows, revamping the wardrobe. Okay. Anybody else? Filing and reorganizing your closet. Awesome. So here's something. Okay. So tell me, out of curiosity, because you said contacting those, reaching out to those who have already told you that they wanted to have a show this month. Why is that struggling? Like, why are you struggling to contact people who want to do shows? Like, I could understand how we tend to kind of put off reaching out to people that maybe we're not sure if they want to do a show. But if they've said they want to, tell me what's preventing you from contacting them. And Anita, on the filing, might I suggest take 15 minutes per day and file. Set a timer for 15 minutes and file anything that needs filed for 15 minutes per day. We can all find 15 minutes in a day. And if we can't find 15 minutes, we are not good stewards of time management. So find 15 minutes every single day, set a timer, and do it. Okay. Here's what I'll say. I understand that. However, I do understand the yes. I do understand the aspect of you don't know them, so you don't feel as comfortable. But girl, if they told you they want to have a show, contact them, because if you don't, somebody else will. Somebody else will. So unless you happen to have all of the shows on your calendar that you will ever possibly need, then I highly recommend that you get off this scope and you go contact them. Okay? Because if they want to do a show, if you're not willing to do it for them, they will go find somebody else who will. Okay? They will go find somebody else who will. And that can be a hard pill to swallow. Okay? It absolutely can be. And here's the thing, especially if you would ever like run into these people, or if you have mutual friends with these people, whatever, and you come to find out that they have in fact scheduled a Premier Designs jewelry show, but it's not with you, that would be difficult. So again, if you do not have all the shows that you need on your calendar, then you get your little tail on the phone, on the computer, however it is that you're supposed to contact them, and do that. Yes. Yeah. Listen, when I have people who want to do a show, I am going to contact them much faster than me trying to contact people who not so sure if they want to or not. That's just me. That's just me. So, does anybody have any other ones that they would like to share? before I close out. Anybody have any more that they'd like to share? Okay, so here's your challenge is I want y'all to get off here and go do it. Get off here and go do whatever it is that you have been putting off doing, and then just feel awesome about the fact that you did it. You can even, if you want to, send me a message on Facebook and be like, hey, I did it. Yeah, so I do a total of 4 different looks. I do silver, mixed metal, gold, and trends. So trends are eats lunch. Yeah, that's what I got to go do after this. I got to eat me some lunch because I never even ate breakfast. So trends right now I'm showing rose gold. So you could choose whatever it is that you want to show for that one. Back in the winter months, I was showing trends being fringe. So I was showing the swag necklace and the perfection. But now as we are getting into the spring and summer, I am doing the rose gold as being what's on trend. So yeah, yep. And I believe on my YouTube, yes, on actually you can even find the mock show if you just go to YouTube and type in Buffy's Premier Designs Mock Jewelry Show. You will be able to find it on YouTube, and you can see how it is that I go about showing all those different trends, some of the verbiage I use, and that kind of thing. And for the most part, it's the same. Now, occasionally, sometimes I'll throw in something else or take out something, but it's usually pretty stinking close to what I have there in the mock show. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Anita. All right. Well, I'm going to let y'all go because I want you guys to get out there and go get something done. Okay. So whatever that thing is that you have been putting off, go do it. Go do it. Okay. And then come back and do the things that you like to do. Then come back and do some of those other things that need done. But do the one thing that you keep putting off and go do it and get it done. Okay. All right, guys. I will listen tomorrow. I will be here, but I'm not 100% sure if it will be right at 12. Both of my daughters have dentist appointments, and we should be done by 11:30, but they are going to a new dentist. So just in case, so I'm not 100% sure if it'll be right at 12, but I'm going to do my best. Okay? All right, guys. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.